Hey guys, it's Tuesday night and we are live. Welcome to the show. Okay, so tonight, you guys are going to see a side of me that I don't like to share very often.
What is that?
I'm going to attempt to channel my inner Clara Lawrence and do some alcohol dye art. Now, the reason I say that you don't see this side of me very often because I'm not very good at this. And I will tell you right up front, this is not my wheelhouse. So bear with me. The reason I'm doing this tonight is I have a table that I'm doing a commission on, and the owner of the table wants these colors, and the colors are the picture that was the thumbnail for the YouTube. So some of you may have seen it. It's oranges and reds and seafoam, and I forget all the colors. Anyway, so, and she loves the softness of the design that you get when you do the alcohol inks. It's going to go in her beach house. So me, being who I am, was like, sure, we can do that. No problem. And I've done several before. I've done it before. It's not like I'm not, I've never done it. But I'm not perfect at it like Clara and Erica and Keith McGinnis. Those guys have honed in and really perfected it. I have not, and I am my worst critic. So I thought it would be fun to put myself out there and have you guys kind of help me with this. So that's what we're going to do. All right, so what has happened is the homeowner has sent me a picture of a chair. And the chair has all of these colors. And they're in a very striated linear pattern. Well, what I wanted, and also she has a leather couch that has the bluish, grayish colors in it. And we want to incorporate that as well. Of course, why not? So what I want to do is to get away from the linear design because I think it's too much. And I want to go with a very soft design, but bring in the colors. That's what's in my brain, okay? So I got to take this out and put it here. So here we go.
And what are you putting it on?
So literally what I'm putting it on is a sample board that we made for a shower, and it's very long. So we're going to do a very long piece of art. Now, a couple of things. I am taking everything that I'm talking about straight out of Clara's art book that she has, that she put together. It's a downloadable PDF format, and it's available on our website. And I really want to talk to you really quickly about this. All of the proceeds from this book are being put in a special account, and that account is going to go towards scholarships for our students to come either take my class, take Erica's class, something to help promote art. All right, I'm not keeping this money. It's going to wherever Clara's sons want it to go. So I want you to understand that if you buy this book off of my website, I don't keep that money, okay? So it's going to go to further someone's art passion. And that was very, very clear. For those of you that don't know, Clara passed away a few months ago. She was a very, very dear friend of us, and we miss her dearly. And it's been a very emotional day for me, going through her book and working with the colors. So please bear with me, okay? I know she's looking over my shoulder. And I want to make her proud. Okay, so enough of that mess. Okay, no more. Okay, here we go. All right, so what we're going to do is I want to give you a few things that come straight from her book. Okay, this is nothing that I've made up. This is nothing that I've researched. This comes straight from her book. Now, the reason that we are using the Alumilite dyes to create our ink that we're going to make our design is because the dyes are color fast. Okay, alcohol inks tend to fade over time, especially if you put your piece in the sunlight, okay, or in a window where, near a window where all the sunlight can come in. Alcohol inks will fade over time. So these dyes that we're using, we're making with the Alumilite dyes that I have available on my website, mixing it with either 97 or 90% IPA, which is isopropyl alcohol. It's easier for me to say IPA. Okay, it kind of sounds cool. Almost sounds like I'm talking about a beer. So anyway, so that's why we use the dyes. Also, excuse me, dyes are very brilliant. So when we put those dyes on our surface, they're going to be very vivid and very bright. Alcohol inks tend to not be quite so bright, and you have to layer them in order to build intensity. That's another difference between the two. Now, I've had several of you guys call me telling me that you have done this sort of a finish and the dyes tend to bead up. So what that's telling me is often you've made the concentration too, the mix too concentrated. So what we've done is these are little 1 ounce bottles. You can get them from Amazon, and we fill it all the way to about the shoulder of the bottle with IPA, and then we put no more than 5 drops of any of the colors of the dye, because if you put more than that, it gets very, very concentrated and it can leave little dots, okay? And those dots may never dry. But even saying that, even sometimes with less than 5 drops, you'll get those little drops, those little beads that don't really want to dry. So what you have to do is kind of manipulate that and dilute it and move your alcohol back and forth so that dye kind of spreads out. Now, once it dries, if you still have a little bit of that dye that has not dried, you can take just a paper towel or something very soft and tap that and soak up that dye, and you'll be ready to go to your next step, which is sealing your product. Okay, so how do you seal it? It's very important that once you...
Why don't you start before, on the surface first, what to start?
Okay, yeah, let's start there. Let's go. Yep, perfect. All right, so that's good. That was great. Sorry, guys, I am really squirreled. I've had an emotional day. All right, so it is super important that you create a substrate that is very slick before you start your project. So what I do is I come in, and now all this was done is painted white, and then I poured a clear flood coat of epoxy. All right, and you need, honestly, you need to let that epoxy set and cure for about 24 hours. If you do it less than that, what happens is, even though it feels very dry and it feels like it's cured, what happens is that dye has a tendency to soak up, and you can't really manipulate it as much because it stains your surface. So it's really important that you allow your epoxy to cure for about 24 hours. So here's a pro tip. If you know that you're going to be practicing and doing a lot of these projects, just go in and make you 5 or 6 sample boards that have epoxy so that you can pull them anytime you want to. Because the worst thing to do is say, hey, I want to do some sample boards. I want to practice, and you don't have your boards already prepared, okay? Ask me how I know that. All right, so And it's also very important that you don't sand this surface once it's cured, because if you sand it, that alcohol is going to grab, even though it may feel super smooth, that alcohol is going to grab and stay in those sanding patterns, and you're not going to be able to manipulate it and get it to move. All right, so that's how we prepped our substrate. All righty, so sealing it. Let's go back really quick. So after we create our beautiful finish, you can't go just straight over the top with epoxy. You need to seal, and you need to kind of make those colors stay where they're at, especially if you're using any kind of mica powder or resin art, which has mica powder in it. When that alcohol evaporates, you're left with kind of just mica powder on the surface, and if you rub it, it could smudge. So what you'll want to do is come back with clear, matte spray paint. It has to be matte. You cannot use a gloss. Gloss will reactivate your alcohol and cause it to smudge. Or you can use Krylon archival spray. Now, the archival spray is a little hard to find. They used to carry it at Hobby Lobby. I'm not sure if they still do anymore. I know you can get it on Amazon. And that stuff stinks to high heaven. But it is really good because it has some UV protectant characteristics with it. So if you can get your hands on the archival spray, it's really a really good product. If not, use just clear matte spray paint. Okay, are y'all ready? Enough talk. Here we go. I'm nervous, y'all. I'm nervous because I'm not good at this. All right, so tonight, what we're going to do is just kind of play with colors, okay? What I'm trying to do right now is put together a list of colors that I can use. I'm not necessarily tonight on this piece going to create a work of art, all righty? What this is going to be eventually is a table, and at the end of the video I'm going to have Kenny flip this around and show you guys the table that I'm going to do it on. Now, before we get started too, I am so sorry. I forgot to say welcome everyone. I am so sorry. I am very nervous about tonight because it's just been a nervous day. So I would love for you all to welcome and give your love to all of our moderators. Guys, we have the best moderators in the business. We have Erica, we have Christy, we have Alan, we have Keith, we have Leslie. I'm not sure if everybody's on there tonight.
I haven't seen Alan.
But I want them to know that they are the best. And I appreciate every single thing that they do for us. And then, of course, guys, get ready. Get ready. Give some love to the man of the hour, my sweetheart, Mr. Kenny Dracoulis.
What's up, guys?
Yeah.
Glad y'all can make it.
Yeah.
Glad to be here.
Yeah. So that's my baby right there. All righty. Let's get going. Okay. Here we go. So here's the colors that I mixed up. And Erica, your idea of what you told me earlier about how to get that seafoam was perfect. All right, so here's the colors we're going to use. Again, we're going back. You know what, babe? Hand me that picture. I mean, that book over there. I mean, that whatever that is right there.
This?
Yeah, that sample board. Yes. All right, so here's a sample board that I did just really, really quickly. So here's some of the colors that we're going to do tonight. We're going to do an orange. We're going to do a reddish orange, and we're going to pull in some of this blue-gray, all righty? And then, of course, we're going to try to get our seafoam. Now, these are not all the colors. This was just some of the colors that I was playing with the other day, and kind of my inspiration, okay? So, here we go. All righty. So we've got our little bottle of IPA. So here's the necessary things that you're going to have. I would suggest that you get a bottle like this instead of using a spray bottle, Because if you use a spray bottle, you're going to get overspray and you're going to cause all these little dots. Ask me how I know. And then it's really important to have a hair dryer, alrighty, or a heat gun. The problem with the heat gun is if you can't adjust your heat settings, your heat is going to make your alcohol evaporate a lot faster. All right, so that's why I'm using both. Maybe if I were really good at this, I could pull it off just doing the heat gun. And yes, Erica, this is your heat gun. I'm using it. So, and I really like the little nozzle. Huh?
You're just storing it for us.
I'm storing it. Yeah, I'm storing it for you, Erica. So I really like this nozzle because it gives me, it kind of concentrates all of the air. Now, I don't use this all the time because I have a tendency to get it too hot because this does not have a cool setting. This, I put it on cool. Yep, I put it on cool so no air, no hot air comes out. And I'm able to kind of manipulate it a little bit. No hot air, unlike me. I know you're laughing at that. Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, he's just not being nice behind the camera. So, have that. Alrighty, so here's the colors that we're using. We're going to use a red-orange. So I kind of worked a little bit. I didn't want a red. I wanted to bring a little bit of the orange in it so that it would go with the orange that I'm using. So our red-orange, I did 4 drops of our Alumilite red, 1 drop of our yellow, okay? And guys, all of this is in Clara's book. We're gonna do a color called Smoky Ocean, which is really pretty.
I like that color.
Yeah, it's really pretty. It's 2 black drops and 3 ocean blue drops. All of these are Alumilite, okay? And then we have a Janice blue. I don't know what this is. I don't know who Janice is, but this is one of the colors that Clara had made up, and it was in her stash. So Janice blue is 1 blue, 1 drop of blue translucent, 1 drop of ocean blue translucent, and 1 drop of black. Okay, it's a beautiful color. And then I'm using my orange, which I kind of came up with it on my own because I was tweaking it. Hush. It is.
Is it real orange?
It's not real orange. It's
kind of like it, but not really.
It's kind of a brownish orange almost.
Okay.
So it's 2. Now this is a bigger bottle, so this is 2 ounces of alcohol. These are 1 ounce of alcohol. Okay. So in 2 ounces of alcohol, I did 3 drops of our orange translucent and 1 drop of our brown translucent. Okay.
Ooh.
So I warmed that orange up just a bit. And then we're going to do sea foam. And this is 1 ocean and 1 green. Now, I did have to call Erica about this because my green, it was a little too, it wasn't exactly what I wanted. So here's what I did. And this is a pro tip. So I made up the sea foam. I put 1 ocean and 1 green. And then I poured half of the bottle out. All right? And then I put more alcohol in and I added just a teeny tiny bit of blue. All right, so that's how I got my blue to, that's how I got it to be a little bit more like I wanted it and not so concentrated. Nope, I lie. I added a little bit more green. I apologize. But that's how I got that little bit more of an intensity of a green in there. So, okay, and then I have a bottle of just alcohol. Okay, and then this is the piñata.
The what?
Piñata?
Yeah?
Yeah, it's the What are you making fun of me saying piñata? You want
not...
me to say it like you, piñata?
There it is.
Piñata? It's a piñata? Okay, so what happens when you're married to Kenny? You learn how to say it right. All right, so this is the piñata. It's actually a alcohol ink with metal flakes. This is the gold. And I know it's not in the actual chair, but I like it and we might use it. I don't know. So we'll see. Okay, so here we go. All right, so let's get started. I'm going to start off with my hair dryer first. And I'm going to always put alcohol down first. And I've learned, because your alcohol dyes are very concentrated, if you go straight on your substrate with the dye, it has a tendency to stain it, and then you can't move it. All right, so I'm going to start off with orange because the homeowner wants predominantly orange in her table. All right, so we're going to start off with that. All right, here we go. So we're going to lay out, and I'm just going to, I have a very long piece, so we're just going to kind of move down the piece. All right, so I've got alcohol on the surface, and I'm going to come in here, and I'm just going to lay out some of that alcohol. All right, so y'all, it's going to be really hard for you guys to hear me, so I hope that y'all will be able to follow along. All right, so I'm just going to kind of get that color where I want it. Now, I love, love, love how the alcohol and the dyes fade out and become very soft. I love that. All right, so I'm going to add some colors. And when I feel that I'm getting a little dry on the canvas, I'll add a little bit more alcohol if it's getting too intense. All right, so let's stop really quick. So I'm liking this, okay? I'm liking how it's getting very soft. So I'm going to add a little more alcohol over here because I want this corner to be very soft, okay? I'm starting to get a little bit of those beads, which doesn't bother me because all I'm going to do is add a little bit more alcohol. Oops. Now, one thing that I did learn from Clara is that you always have to just keep building and building. You can't judge it right off the bat. You have to continually build your colors. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to kind of add, I'm going to bring my colors kind of across. Now
So what do you put on there to make it more?
So all I'm doing is I'm adding where I want more concentrated colors. I'm adding more of the dye. Okay? So what I've learned through Erica and through Clara is that, see these lines, these hard lines? If I were to walk away and let this alcohol evaporate, these colors would be more intense. All right, so that's kind of what I'm going for. Is I like lines. I like almost like they are veins. All right, so we're going to go in here. Anywhere I have a lot of concentration on color, I can go back.
And then you just put more alcohol.
Yeah, I'm just putting more alcohol on there and getting those beads.
Do you like to put a lot of alcohol?
I do because I'm not really good at this whole process. So the alcohol helps me to be able to manipulate it and get it where I want to. Now I want to show you the difference here in just a second of using a blow dryer as opposed to using a a heat gun. Okay, so now you can see how I'm able to manipulate this. All right, see how I'm able to move and create a design because my hair dryer is not hot. All right, it's not really causing. Now, I'm getting a little bit of resist right here, which tells me I probably have something on that substrate that's causing a resist. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to come in here and I'm going to wipe this because literally, guys, this sample board I grabbed it out of our shop.
We did wipe it down with alcohol.
Did we? Okay, well, I did it. So I'm glad you did, babe. Thank you. So I just wiped it off.
What are you gonna put there?
I'm gonna put some more alcohol here, and I'm gonna put some more dye. Okay. All right, so we're going to come back. Now, I'm liking the intensity now.
Yeah.
Now, yeah, I like this intensity. Now let's switch. Let's go to the heat gun, okay? I've got my heat gun on low. All right. Actually, let me get it on high. Now, as I move, I'm not only moving,
but you're drying.
I'm drying it really quickly. All right, so it's going to take that alcohol and it's going to dry. Now, I want to show you what I'm going to do with these dots here in just a minute. Yeah, there's something on this substrate because I wasn't getting this on my sample board. So there's probably something.
Let's just keep on going.
Yeah, we're going to keep on going, but I will show you how we're going to tap that off. So I don't know if there was maybe something sprayed because we have.
Do you think that the alcohol might be doing that?
No, I think what happens is this sample board was put out in the shop with all kind of chemicals sprayed. So there's no telling what is on the substrate, but that's okay. Because what you can do is you can come in after you, like, let's just say I walked off and we're going to let this just sit for 3 or 4 hours. A lot of that would evaporate and you would not see it. All right.
Would it be dotty like that?
Not if you like. See, I'm pulling it away, and a lot of it's not dotty. Okay.
Oh yeah.
So I'm just very lightly tapping that away. All right. Now when it ends up being dotty is if you have your alcohol dyes way too concentrated, and what you end up having is, which is not this case, what you end up having is too much concentrated dye on the surface. But we've got a lot to do here, so I'm not even worried about this.
We still got to put a lot, right?
Yeah, we got a lot to go, but I tell you what I am going to do. I'm going to go ahead and just kind of clean this again a little bit better. I'm going to come in here with some just alcohol.
Is that
That's
regular?
just regular old IPA.
It's what?
Isopropyl alcohol, not beer, Kenny. Don't get excited.
I just didn't know what you were saying.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, IPA.
These acronyms, they're just kind of a lot for me.
Yeah, okay, we're going to wipe this down a little bit.
And you just use regular.
Yep, 91% all the way to 97%. You could even, now 99%, it does evaporate really quickly. So you need to be kind of careful with that. All right, so we're just going to kind of proceed with this. We're going to add now.
Erica said you could put hairspray on there too.
What does hairspray do?
I don't know.
Well, Erica, you did not tell me this. That is news to me. So I need to have a discussion with you about that. Now, what I'm doing now is just softening my edges. I'm softening. And see what happened when I spray? That's why I tell you guys, don't spray.
That's where you got the dots of the alcohol?
Yes, because I sprayed it when I was spraying my substrate to clean it, and that's how those dots came up. All right, so we're just going to
take them out?
Sure, just like what I'm doing.
So what are you doing?
I'm adding alcohol.
Oh.
And I'm just going to take off those dots. I could even add a little bit more dye.
Erica says she liked the dots.
That's actually, I mean, a lot of people do like the dots because it kind of gives a little bit of a depth. All right, now what I tend to like is I like hard lines like this. I like to create veins almost. All right, so that's why I like to add, push.
So hairspray can be a tooth for that.
Oh, for it to grab onto. Okay. Yeah. Okay, well, that's good to know. So see, you learned something. I learned something. Okay, so now let's do this. Let's bring in another color. What you have to really be careful with is if you bring in another color and then you push that color over this color, you're going to get a secondary color. All right, so that's why
So you
it's
just got to be
really,
mindful of that
you do,
alcohol.
you do. You have to be very mindful of where you're putting your color down, and you may like those blending colors. It might be exactly kind of what you're going for. And the only way to know that is to practice. So I'm going to come in with my seafoam, and I'm going to put my seafoam here.
Ooh.
Okay, isn't that pretty? So my seafoam, remember, it's one ocean drop and one green drop. All right, so we're going to come over here. And we're going to add. Now, I love how, see, this is very soft. I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but I love how it's, the orange is soft, and now the seafoam is soft. And I don't know if they can hear me because I have this.
Yes, I can hear you.
You can hear me, okay.
You should, just when you got it on, just talk a little louder.
All right, so I have no problem talking loud.
No.
Everyone that knows me knows I have no problem talking loud. All right, so now we're gonna kind of start letting this dry, okay? And guys, like I said, there's gotta be something on this substrate because when I was doing my sample boards, I didn't get any of these.
You just gotta have to
dots.
put what? More?
Huh?
More alcohol?
Yeah, you can put, and which I'm gonna do because I wanna build the intensity of our seafoam. Now, what you can also do is use that clear to create. So I've got clear.
Clear
I'm gonna
what?
clear IPA. So I'm gonna push that clear over here. See how that causes that line? I like that. I like that, how I'm creating a line by using my clear. And then I'm gonna add some more seafoam and get it even more intense.
Whoa.
Remember, your alcohol is what helps you blend and soften.
What?
Your plain alcohol.
Oh.
That's how you use it almost either like an eraser.
Yeah.
Or you use it to soften. Okay, so I want to bring a little bit of that sea foam over here. Now see how this is all clear?
Yeah.
I'm going to start pushing that sea foam over here. And I still haven't blended it yet. Now I'm going to go ahead and switch to my gun. Now your gun is going to really heat up the alcohol, cause it to dry much quicker. And you can create those designs a lot faster. Now, if you're good at this and you're experienced with this, then you can get away with using the heat gun exclusively. You don't want to get too close to your substrate because you'll heat up your epoxy way too much, so kind of stand back and kind of help that alcohol dissipate. Now, as it dissipates,
a sample board.
Yeah, this is just a sample board. All I'm doing is getting my colors down. That's all this is good for. I'm not going in and trying to create an exact pattern like I'm going to do on the table. All right, so I've got some alcohol here that are drips. So I'm going to come back.
What kind of it?
Huh?
The drips?
Well, I mean, they're just puddles of alcohol. See the puddles of alcohol? So I'm going to go ahead and let those dry. I want to get those dried. So I'm going to come in here and help the IPA to...
Just call it what it is.
It's IPA.
No.
Isopropyl alcohol.
Okay.
That takes a lot of my mouth movement.
All you have to say is alcohol.
Alcohol. IPA.
One more time.
Alcohol.
One more time.
Alcohol.
Mm.
All right, so now let's bring in some of the red. All right, so now I know I do want a little bit of red in between here. I just want a tiny bit. I don't want that red to take over. All right, I just want a little bit. So I'm going to put like a little line of the alcohol, okay? And I'm just going to put a little bit of that red. Now, I did add a little bit
Ooh,
of of yellow to that red.
that's
so
a
that,
bright red.
well, yeah, that so is the what she wanted. But
Ooh, I like it.
yeah, I wanted just a little bit as accents. Now, I'm not really worried about the orange, of the red touching the orange, because I have yellow in here, and yellow, it's not going to make an ugly color. I think I'm going to bring that red kind of down. I don't know if I'm that good to do that, but I'm going to try.
Just roll it.
I don't know. This could go crazy.
Nah. Ooh la la.
All right, I'm going to switch to my heat gun because I want to dry it faster. That's what I like about the heat gun. I can get those hard edges like I'm looking for. All right, I'm happy with that. I'm really happy with that because I wanted this red to just be a tiny, tiny bit of red. I like that. And I like my negative space of having white. I like that as well, okay? I'm not worried about these little dots. We're gonna address that later. I'm not worried about any of that. We'll address that later.
What do you put on there to address it?
Well, hopefully, a couple of things. I can come in here and they could evaporate.
You don't think they'll evaporate in the dots?
If I leave them like that, they may. But I can come in here and take my little paper towel and I can tap them off. Okay, so, and I like that. It almost gives a really cool little design. It doesn't upset me.
Almost looks oceany.
Yeah, it doesn't upset me at all. And like I said, I didn't have this issue on my sample board. I honestly think that because this
it's just probably been outside.
Yeah, it's been outside and in the shop, and there is no telling what all chemicals have landed on this surface. That's why it's very important, guys, especially if you're using chemicals that have silicone in them, to make sure that you don't allow any of that to land on your surface, because you can see kind of what can happen. All right, so now let's go into my Janus blue. Now this was an accident that I found this. I'm going to put a little bit right here, first of all, because I just want to have a hint of it on this side. Okay. Now this Janus blue is the color of her couch. All right, the homeowner's couch. I think I'm going to use my heat gun.
Oh, yeah? Yeah.
So I just want to have a little bit of it.
Ooh, fade it up into the orange.
Well, I'm afraid to put it in the orange, and the reason is, I'll put a little bit, but sometimes you get, remember that secondary color that you get, I could get a really kind of a yucky color. So we're going to see what happens, and this is why we do sample boards. All right, that's kind of, see, I don't like that. See, it makes this brown color. So I don't like that brown color that it creates. Okay, so see, now what I do like is I do like the distinction of the lines and the very distinct, almost like veining. I do like that. But I don't like my secondary color that I got right here.
It's not too bad.
It's not bad. But I don't want to go any farther because I know that I I will create that. All right, so another important thing to do is to shake your bottles as you're using them, because the dyes have a tendency to kind of sink a little bit. Okay, so let's go move over. So far I'm liking these colors. So far, these colors are pretty much what's in the picture. Now, I'm not liking these little dots, but like I said, I didn't have this issue on, and you can tell on my sample board, you can see I didn't have any of those issues with the dots. So there's definitely something going on my substrate. But I'm kind of glad it's happening so you guys can kind of see me freak out a little bit. Okay, so now we're gonna go to, you know what? Let me know, guys. What do you think? What colors have we not used? We haven't used. Oh, let's do a little bit more Janus blue. All right.
What about the other one?
Which one? The
other,
smoky?
yeah.
We're gonna come in later with that. Okay, so I'm gonna come in here a little bit. You know what? I'm gonna make most of this Janus blue kind of come down, and I am gonna let this Janus blue kind of bleed in to my seafoam, just to kind of see what I get. Okay, so I'm gonna kind of. Now, you notice I didn't put the Janus blue right next to it. You know what? I'm going to do it just so you see. If I do that, it's going to be very concentrated there, and I'm really not going to be able to control how much of that bleed goes through there, okay? So by putting it over, kind of away from it, I can control how much of that color that I want to bleed over into the area. Now, by adding a little bit of that color as I go, I can make it a little more intense because I only had a little bit of alcohol over here. Now, I kind of hit it a little bit right there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in and erase those drips. And this is where I'm going to kind of bleed it in. And that's what's really so cool about this process, is that you can change and manipulate it so much. Now, I like how that's very soft. Yeah, okay, so did you see what I did?
Yes.
I put this and then I put this in front of it and see how it sprayed? Don't do that. Don't do that. See how it sprayed over there? So, see? Don't do what I just did. You get these little spots.
Great job.
Well, I would rather do it and let other people know not to do it.
I mean, that's kind of common sense.
It's not common sense.
Kind of is.
Are you trying to say I don't have common sense?
Sometimes.
Oh, you're not being nice. Now, I kind of like this color. I kind of like that. And I kind of like these hard lines that I'm getting. That's kind of fun. Now, I really like this down here, and then how it goes into kind of a soft pattern. I like that.
So what are you going to do now?
I don't know. Guys, let me know in the comments what do you want to see me try to do. And don't get too technical, because I'm not good at this. Let me know what you think that I should do. What other colors do you think I should do?
What other colors you got?
Well, I'm going to pull out a secret sauce here in just a minute.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I hope
So
it smells like you're cooking.
That's not nice. Babe, I do cook good sometimes. That's not nice. All right, so see, I love how this layers. By using this heat gun, see how it gives me layers as it dries? Oh my gosh, I love that. I love I love that.
I think that's better than the hairdryer.
Yeah, if you want real distinct colors like this, then definitely use a heat gun. But like I said, be very, very careful. So I don't like this, okay? So I'm going to come in
Yeah.
and I'm going to tap it. And I tell you what's really cool.
Rapid tap tapping.
Is with these alcohol inks, these alcohol dyes, you could come in and you can erase anything that you don't like. That's what's so cool about this.
And you just use what?
This is just regular old isopropyl alcohol, just to clean it off.
Barely nothing.
Just barely nothing, okay? So, I'm going to come in now and I'm going to add some more.
What are you adding?
Okay, let me show you what happens. I'm going to add some color.
Color?
I'm going to add, oh, my Janus Blue. I'm going to add, there's no alcohol here, okay? There's alcohol here, but there's no alcohol here. This is straight substrate. I want to show you.
What's the difference?
What happens if you go straight on there.
Straight dye alcohol?
Straight, it's very vivid, okay? So it's very, very, very.
And it doesn't move.
And it doesn't move, all right? So if you go straight, if you want something really distinct, like you want a vein to run through, all right? And you don't want that vein to move, and you want it to be very vivid, you can come in and put it down without putting any alcohol first. But remember, you're going to have a tendency to stain your surface. Because if I try to wipe this off...
That ain't wiping off.
It'll wipe off to an extent, but it's going to kind of give... it'll give my white substrate a little bit of a tint where That's
pretty cool, though.
Yeah. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to come in here. I'm going to add some more of this. And I don't want to push it all the way up there.
It looks like you're pushing it.
No, I want to add my color there. And I want to push it almost up to the edge. So while I'm doing this, guys, I want you guys all to go check out, and I don't think Erica has the products, the art that she's doing right now. I don't think she has it on her website. But guys, she is creating the most incredible little mugs. I don't know if you guys know this, but Erica's actual background is in art, doing clay. And I'm sure
What do you do with it, Rhonda?
What do I do with what?
The clay.
She spins it around.
No, that's not the word.
What does she do with it?
Remember?
She throws it.
There
That's what it is. So
winner.
She throws
clay.
This clay. So the first time I ever went and did this with them, they were like, we're going to throw it. I'm like, well, where are we going to throw it? And so I learned a whole bunch. And I also learned that throwing that is not easy. And I was wore completely out by the time I finished. But I want you guys to go, whenever she gets her website up, I want you guys to go check out the incredible pieces that she is making. Because I can't wait to get mine. I have an order in with her, and I literally cannot wait to get it. But she just amazes me on how talented she is, and she just started coming up with this idea, and it blows me away. All right, so what I want to do is I want to come in here and soften these colors that are between my red and my seafoam. I just put a little bit of alcohol. All right, so all I'm doing is kind of adding a little bit, and by using my heat gun, I'm getting it to dry really quickly, and I'm getting a lot of distinct lines. And that, everyone has like their loves. This is my love. I love the hard lines.
Yeah.
I love that. I
like
think
that.
that is so, so, so pretty.
Look, it looks like a bird.
What?
A bird.
A bird? Okay. All right. I'll go for a bird. All right. So now let's add some secret sauce. Okay. Let's add a little bit.
Maybe that's a bald eagle.
I don't even see what you're.
Be.
Oh, right here.
Yeah, look. There's
oh,
the
his
beak
little eyeball.
and the eye.
Okay.
Mm.
Okay, maybe. All right. So
In
maybe,
the comments
maybe.
below, tell me, does that look like a bird?
I'm gonna come in and add. Okay, so this might not be what I need to do, but I'm gonna do it anyway. I'm gonna add a little bit of orange right here, just a little bit, and we'll see if we can make it. We're gonna add a little bit of orange, a little bit more. Actually, I want to move it down.
Wait, a little more.
Nope, we're good.
Oh, that looks like an amoeba. Could be a parrot. Yes. Looks like an avocado.
What does?
That.
Looks like avocado.
Yeah, an orange one.
All right, I just wanted a little. I wanted to see what happens if I put orange next to all three of those colors. Like I said, guys,
it looks great.
Well, this is just a sample board. This is how we practice. All right, let's add some fun stuff.
Practice makes permanent.
Not necessarily.
Yes, it makes permanent.
If I do it over and over again, it makes permanent. But if I do it one time and I don't like it, it's not permanent. Yes.
Well,
yeah, don't.
It's the technique.
Don't argue with me.
Yes.
Hush.
You can't. You'll lose that battle.
I'm not going to lose that battle. All right, here we go.
All right, Goldilocks, let's go.
This is the piñata. Did I say it right?
The what?
Piñata.
Is that a sandwich? What are we? We're not. It's not dinner time.
Shut up! I hate you. All right, so here we go. This is the piñata gold, and we're just gonna run a vein.
Don't put it on the bird.
What?
Stop.
Where's the bird?
Right there.
Oh, all right. So we're gonna come in here, and we're very lightly gonna move this and create a really fun little gold vein. Now, I think that is way cool. There's another way you can do this also. You could put down your alcohol first. Two ways you can do it. You can put your alcohol first, then you can come back with your gold.
Your what?
Your gold.
The sandwich?
Your gold piñata. And now when you use it, you're gonna fade that gold out, and it's gonna be a lot
Ooh, a little
fainter.
Simmer.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot more faint, and it kind of blends in with the color. So you get a very subtle gold as opposed to doing a really, really harsh gold like I did here. And what's fun is if I came in here and decided I didn't really want that harsh, I can kind of add some alcohol.
Taking away. Ah!
What?
You're going to hit my bird.
Oh, that stupid bird. So then now, because I've added alcohol, I'm going to bring in some more colors over the top of that and soften that gold down a little bit. Now, if you want a lot of gold,
then what do you do?
We can come in here and put quite a bit of alcohol. And then the piñata.
That's not a lot.
Well, it's more than but what we're going to do is we're going to spread it out.
Ooh, yeah.
And it's going to
spread it out.
Now it's going to kind of give me a really soft area of the gold.
Almost looks like sand.
Yeah. And I love how, because I'm bringing it way out.
Yeah.
I don't know if the camera can pick it up.
Yeah,
but it's real soft and it fades. It fades out here.
Yeah.
And I love that too. I'm not crazy about that blob right there.
Yeah, it's kind of not your best work. But
not my... None of this is my best work. I'm just going to let everybody know that right now. All right, so I'm going to come in here a little bit. Add myself a little bit of orange.
Mmm. Ooh. The gold and the orange, it's kind of...
Yeah, it's kind of pretty, isn't it?
trying to...
Now, see, I like how that's starting to fade
Yeah.
out a little bit. So I'm going to come over here. And you notice how I put the alcohol over here and not right next to it? So I could bring that alcohol in and soften out those edges. All right, so you get the idea. All right, so like I said, this was not supposed to be an art piece. All I'm trying to do here, and which I really encourage you guys to do, is do sample boards like this. See what colors are going to look like when they're manipulated on a substrate. Look at how the colors look next to each other. Because like I said, that one color I really didn't like, that Janus, whatever it was, the Janus blue. I did not like how it mixed with the orange. It turned brown. Okay, I didn't like that. So I know that when I get ready to do my actual project, I'm not going to put those two colors together. I really like how the seafoam mixed with my ocean blue, I think, my smoky ocean. I really like that. I like that color combination.
You didn't use that one, did you? The smoky ocean?
I thought I did. What was the one? Oh, no. You know what? I did not use smoky ocean.
I know.
Let's do
Saving
that.
it for the end?
That's what I was doing.
So what are you going to do now?
Let's bring smoky ocean. Let's bring some darkness here, okay? So we're going to add...
more?
We're going to add a little bit of the smoky ocean. And the smoky ocean is 2 drops of black and 3 drops of your ocean blue. Yeah, so now it's going to bring in some heat. I'm going to get my
nope. Do the heat gun.
You want my heat gun instead of the hairdryer?
Yeah.
I wanted it to be a little softer.
La.
I wanted it to be soft and not so...
It looks like an angry ocean.
An angry ocean?
Yeah. Like in the depths.
See, I like to use my hairdryer right here because I'm fading it in. I think if I use my heat gun, it would have a hard line right there, and that's not really... You want that?
I think so, because everything else has hard lines.
That's exactly why I wanted to have a soft line.
Oh, okay.
Listen here.
So how much alcohol have you used on that?
I've used almost 8 ounces.
Okay.
Okay. So that was a good question, whoever asked that.
That was me.
Oh, okay, so you win a t-shirt.
Ooh, nice.
All right. So I like that. All right.
Ooh, I think with a little bit of orange next to that would be pretty nice. Or gold.
All right. Okay. So you guys kind of get the gist of what we're trying to do. Okay. I love the gold on there. I think that's so pretty. All righty.
Not with that.
You don't like that? I like that
No,
gold.
I really don't like the blobs of that.
Well, you want to soften it out?
So what are you putting in there?
What do you think I'm putting on there? I'm putting alcohol. So now I came and put alcohol. We can soften it out.
It's weird how the gold kind of
well,
blobs out.
the gold, because the gold actually has flakes of the metallic gold in it.
So it doesn't really...
It sinks. So that's why it's really important that you shake it up as you use it, and it's going, the more you manipulate it, the more it's going to sink down in your piece. So I don't like, by using the heat gun, it's causing too much hard lines, and I'm getting this secondary color I don't like. So that's your fault. That is your fault.
I kind of like it.
Of course you do.
I mean,
okay. All righty. So
what?
Huh? I have no idea what you're trying to tell me. Alcohol? Say it again. Alcohol? 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 Why am I saying it so many times?
Say, you're welcome, Nikki.
You're welcome, Nikki. What? She likes how I say alcohol?
Yeah.
What?
How do you say it?
Alcohol. That reminds me. Please hold. Tink. That may or may not have been alcohol. How about that? Okay, so, all right.
Yeah.
So, I hope you guys learned something, because I did.
What did you learn?
I learned what colors I don't want next to each other. I learned that I really like the heat gun to give me some distinct lines.
Yeah.
So let's flip it around and let's show them what I'm going to be doing.
Okay.
And I'll show them what I've done up to this point. All right, so this table came to me, and
how did it come?
It came not really in great. I'm going to take this off.
Don't.
So it came to me with just a painted top that was not really in good shape. So I sanded it, and my edges had that, I forget what it's called. My mind just went blank. It had like a bevel, and then it went out. The
OG edge?
Yes. So that's what it had.
And then you made it 45.
And then it's not even really a 45. So what I did is I came in and I just sanded it down and gave it a really nice round over edge. All right, so you can see that. Now the table, once I started sanding it and I got past the veneer, I got into some kind of a cheaper type of wood. And so what I did is once I sanded it with 220, I went back with 400 and I really sanded my edges so that particle, it wasn't really particle board, it was like a cheaper MDF. I sanded it with a 400 so it was really, really smooth. Then I painted it white and I put a clear coat using our new Speed Cure of epoxy over the top. I taped my edges. All right, so with the Speed Cure, I was able to tape my edge, and then I was able to pull that tape about an hour later, and I didn't get drips. Okay, so the drips didn't go over. All right, so you see that? I didn't get drips over that. So then I didn't really like how stark white it was, because I know that in her house, she doesn't have anything that's super stark white. So then I came back and I did another layer of Speed Cure, and I did the titanium white by Just Resin, and then I put a tiny bit of, you know what, I lied to you. I did not use Just Resin. I used Color Passion Pearl White Luster. And then I put a tiny bit of beach sand luster in it to give it a little bit of to kind of knock down that stark white.
You can see it on the
screen. So a little bit. And then what I did before I poured it, I hit my edges with a spray paint in Navajo white. Ooh. Navajo white is an off-white. So I wanted to make sure that I hit my edges, because we all know that when colors run over the edge, they have a tendency to be very thin. So I didn't want to have one color on my surface and then my edges to be super bright. So I fogged all my edges with the Navajo white, and then I very lightly fogged the surface just a little bit. I didn't get 100% of that Navajo white on here. Then I poured the epoxy that was mixed with the pearl white luster and the beach sand luster, and that's how I got this very soft off-white base. So now it's ready for me to do my design. So what I'm thinking is I want to do like my orange here, really bold orange, and I want that to kind of fade to my seafoam. I want my seafoam and my orange to be my two major colors that you see, because those are the two main colors that they have in their room. Then I want to come in with the accent of the Janus blue, which is going to bring in the color of the couch, and then the red, which is in the chair that they want to match. But I want to make that very subtle, and then I'll maybe bring some gold and stuff. So that's my vision for this table. And then we'll come back and we'll address all the chairs and the legs and how to paint those. And I'm not even sure where we're going to go with those yet. I'll address that. I'll address that at some point when I get everything done. Okay, so I hope that all made sense. I hope I'm not boring you guys, but this is kind of the process that my mind goes through when I'm trying to come up with a design. And again, this is not a piece that I was trying to create an art piece. All this was meant to be is that I can check my colors, make sure my colors are where they need to be, and stuff. So I hope that all made sense. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I was a nervous
Nikki enjoyed
wreck.
it.
Nikki, thank you. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you understand that this is not my wheelhouse. This is not what I'm really good at. That I'm taking my own advice and I'm being creative and I'm moving forward. Okay, because this scares me, and it's just one of those things. So I appreciate you guys staying to the end. So what I'm going to do now, since all of you that have stayed to the end, I'm going to give 1 can of our Fusion Relax. Alrighty? So I want you to comment now, what was your favorite color that I used in this finish? Okay? I'm going to give you a couple of seconds to comment. What was your favorite color that I used? And then Kenny is going to swipe and randomly close his eyes and pick somebody that's going to win the Fusion Relax. Now, let me talk a little bit about this, guys. I was high on this stuff when it first came out. I loved it, okay? And I talked it up. I loved it. But I did a countertop the other day. And I'm telling you, I did the best flood coat I have ever done in my whole career because of this. I poured my flood coat. I only torched it 1 time. That's it. And then I sprayed it with this 1 time. And I'm telling you, I have never in my life had a top that came out so incredibly flawless. My edges were perfect. They weren't wavy because I didn't heat them and cause them to be wavy. My surface wasn't wavy. I'm so much a firm believer in this Fusion Relax spray that I will tell you it's probably one of the best products I have ever used that helped me create the finishes that I create. Okay, Kenny, shut your eyes and I want you to scroll.
I'm just going to scroll.
And he's going to pick one. Pick one, pick one, pick one. Andale. Did you like how I said that? Andale?
What?
Pick one.
All right,
Here
we go.
or scroll and let me close my eyes and I'll pick one. Okay? Here. Ready? Wait, ready, scroll?
Already did.
Okay,
you gotta
right.
go.
This person here. Who is that?
Libby.
Libby.
Nutter.
Nutter. Libby Nutter, you won again. You won a t-shirt one time. Yeah.
That's who you picked.
Okay, so y'all saw I shut my eyes and I went like that. Okay, so Libby Nutter, you win some Fusion Relax. Y'all, it is amazing. Now, also, I've extended The sale on all of our Fusion spray, minus this, okay, because we're almost out. Y'all, I'm selling about 50 cans of this a week. So this is still regular price at $19. You can't beat that. But all of our other Fusion sprays are 25% off, and they will last you forever. And I've got every color under the rainbow. It still qualifies for the free shipping if you order over $100 worth. So if you want to really stack up on your Fusion sprays, I'm going to run the sale, I don't know, maybe the rest of the week. I don't even know. So the sale, I got a really good deal, and my philosophy is if I get a really good deal, I want to pass it on to you guys. And that's just the way I think, okay? So I just want to be able to give you guys a discount as well because I got a discount. So go to check out the website, RK3designs.com, and check out the Fusion spray. Okay, so that's it. I made it.
You made it.
I did make it.
You did actually a pretty decent job, I have to say.
Well, I hope Clara is proud of me.
She will be.
Yeah. So thank y'all guys. I appreciate this. And I know this was hard for Erica also, and for everyone that knew Clara. I know that she's on y'all's heart, and I know for a fact that y'all can hear her laughing. She had the most contagious laugh of any human being in the world. And it was very loud, but it touched your heart down to the core. And we miss her very, very much. And I just wanted to honor her and maybe do a good job. So thank you guys for sticking around to the end. I really appreciate it. We usually don't do lives this long, but we did tonight, and thank you. All righty, guys. We may or may not go live next week. I'm not sure. We have our master class, and our master class is going to be amazing, and we're having everybody flying on Saturday to prep. So who knows what's going to happen. We're going to have Mitch here and Keith here and everybody here. I don't even know who all's coming. So I'm not sure if we'll go live next Tuesday night or not, but I will let you know. So if I don't see you, remember, don't be scared like I was. Move forward like I did, and be creative like I was. All right, guys? I love you. Thank you, and I will see you soon. Adios. I said adios. How about that? I stole your glory.
Adios.